Hello and welcome back to Memory at Lightning Speed with a permanent memory sphere and power recall. Memory Course 4, Episode 13. Be Suave, Remembering Names. Part 3. Be suave. Ask about the person's name. And then finally, the V and the E in suave. The V stands for visualize. Visualize. How many people are better at faces than they are with names? It's like everybody, right? You go to someone and you say, I know, I recognize, I remember your face, but I forgot your name. You never go to someone and say the opposite. You never go to someone and say, I remember your name, but I forgot your face. You don't say that, right? Because you tend to remember what you see. There's a Chinese proverb that goes, what I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand. What I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand. Chinese proverb. What I hear, I forget. I heard the name, I forgot the name. What I see, I remember. I saw their face, I remember their face. What I do, I understand. Going back to exercise and practice. Practice makes progress, right? So what do you do when you want to visualize someone's name? It's simple. All you do is, when you receive the name, turn the name into a picture. Turn into picture. Because we remember what we see. If you tend to remember what you see, then see what you want to remember inside your head. So for example, the person's name is Mary. When I say the word Mary, what kind of picture reminds you of the word Mary? Mary. Someone getting married, right? Imagine meeting Mary for the first time and you just imagine she's in a wedding dress, or you're getting married. And would you remember that? Of course you would. And so when you say goodbye to Mary later on, you remember that too. Maybe it's not a wedding dress. Maybe Mary had a little lamb. So imagine meeting Mary for the first time and she's having a punch at the punch bowl and she has two arms, her arms. Underneath her arms are two lambs. Mary had a little lamb. She has two lambs underneath her arms. And you're like, well, that's so childish. Who are the fastest learners on the planet? Children. And children make fun of names, right? They take someone's name and they repeat it and they rhyme it and they do all these things because that's how children learn names. They're fast learners. So I would say, remember, Mary had a little lamb. When you say goodbye to her, she was holding those lambs. What's her name? Her name is Mary. And if the person's name is Mark, what can you picture? This person is Mark. Just imagine you're putting a little check mark on his forehead. Mark introduced himself and you just put a little check mark on his forehead. That reminds you. By the way, this is in the privacy of where? This is in the privacy of your own mind. You're not sharing this with Mark, right? Just a little check mark. And you won't do that. Now, if it makes you laugh or something like that, that's why you remember it. Now, by the way, when you're out and about, and I don't see everything like lambs and check marks and everything else like that. What happens is, after you remember the person's name, like then the picture disappears. But I ask you to use this method, this visualization method, because it overcomes what I call the 6-second syndrome. The 6-second syndrome. 6-second syndrome is this. Somebody gives you their name, and you have 6 seconds to do something with that name. Otherwise, what will happen? It will just disappear. So if the person's name is Mike, what could you picture? Someone singing on the microphone. Imagine meeting someone named Mike, and all of a sudden, he jumps on the table and singing karaoke on a microphone. You won't forget that. It's visual. It's imaginative. When you say goodbye, oh, that's the guy singing bad karaoke. What's his name? Mike. So the person's name is Carol. You could picture what? Someone caroling, right? Someone's name is John. You could picture what? Whatever you picture. So the idea here is visual. You make a picture of it, put it on the person. Thank you.